Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Crypto News Podcast. It's your host, Matt Zahab. We are still buzzing as always. And I love when a guest comes on for round two. That means that he or she absolutely knocked out of the park the first time around. And of course, we had Lark Davis on. He was dropping knowledge bombs left, right, and center. He was on absolute fire, and we have him on again today. If you didn't listen to the first one, highly recommend checking that out. But again, Lark Davis on today, the founder of the weekly crypto newsletter Wealth Mastery. It touches a little bit of everything, some in-depth knowledge, the best opportunities in the market at the time. The newsletter has 140 plus K subscribers, which is absolute bananas. And again, Lark is one of the OGs in the space. He's been in the game for over 5 years, has made a bunch of millies, lost a bunch of millies, but I'm pretty darn certain he's kept a good chunk of those millies as well. He's got 1.2 million followers on X. He's got 600K subs on YouTube, and he garners about 100 million plus views per year on everything. He's been featured in every friggin' program known to man. And I just had an absolute blast talk with him last time, and I can't wait to get into all the market shenanigans with him today. Lark, welcome to the show, my friend. Pumped to have you on for round two. How you doing this lovely evening in Dubai?
Doing fantastic. We had a great night in Dubai, walking with the kids on the beach, and they were just playing in the ocean, having a good time. So I love it. I love it. It's a beautiful time in the market. It's a beautiful time in life.
I love it. Before we get into all the market stuff, I'd love to ask about Dubai. Obviously, I believe you were in Aussie. You were in New Zealand the last time we talked, last time we shot the shit. Quite the move. Was it like the cliche, better crypto, better family style? Like, what were the big sort of catalysts for the move? And to my understanding, you brought the whole fam with you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So there's a lot of reasons to make the jump. And it's funny because we talked about so many places, because I'd been saying to the wife, look, we love New Zealand. New Zealand's beautiful. New Zealand's great. Nothing against New Zealand. It's my home. It's one of my favorite places in the world, right? But I was just saying, gosh darn, we are just far away from everything. None of our parents live here.
Yeah.
My mom had lived there. She left. So it's like, okay, anytime we're with a safe family, it's 30 hours on the planes, 3 planes, 2 airports. It's brutal beyond belief. And so we sort of looked at that scenario, and then sort of just the money we were paying in taxes and sort of
absurd
what we're getting back for that. It's not just the money you're paying. I can understand if you're like, okay, everything's fantastic, walk out and there's no trash on the streets, they paint the roads on a regular basis, all this kind of stuff, but none of that stuff's happening. Everything looks just rough. And it was kind of bothering me, that stuff as well. And I want to be closer to where things are happening. And it's just so hard to find even just simple stuff. Again, you're paying, I look at taxes like a service fee you pay for living in the country, right? So you pay 39% service fee in New Zealand. And I look around like, what are we getting for that 39% service fee? Not a lot, right? Infrastructure is not fantastic, and we're very far away from everything. And, we don't get a lot of stuff here that we would get in Dubai. And so we made the switch to Dubai. Again, love New Zealand. It's my home, right? But it just kind of felt time for a fresh perspective on things. So we came to Dubai, and I've been absolutely loving it. It's just, it's a place that really, I think, challenges a lot of people's expectations of what Dubai is. And you can find a bit of everything here. But what I find, it's wildly family friendly. Everybody's just on the same kind of vibe. Everyone here is, entrepreneurs, and they're content creators, and just so much cool stuff's going on here all the time. So yeah, I love it. It's been a fantastic switch. And yeah, it is expensive, right? The rents are pretty crazy and stuff like that, but things balance out.
I love that. I've only been a couple times, but I absolutely loved it and could totally see myself living there for the winters, at least. The summers, to what I've heard, are absolutely banana lands hot. But again, there's, ways around that. And Lark, you're talking to someone who's pretty darn similar to New Zealand here, minus, the incredible, I guess, landscaping. Well, we have some as well, but I'm Canadian. I live in Toronto for a good chunk of the year, and then I travel in the winter. But our taxes, same as yours, absolute bananas. What do we get for it? Literally nothing. Everyone talks about our healthcare. You break your wrist. It takes 18 hours to get a cast on. It's bananas. But again, it's not a political pod. Let's get into the crypto stuff here.
Let's do it.
Last week we hit 99K. It was absolute banana lands. I'm sure you and I were in the same yacht here, Lark. My eyes were glued to the chart. I haven't really been glued to the chart in a hot minute. Can't remember the last time I was literally glued to the chart for probably 45 minutes in a row. We didn't hit it and pulled back today as we record on Wednesday, November 27th. And mind you, when you guys are listening, it will be a week later. But we're hovering on around 92. Still really, really good in the grand scheme of things. Do you think we're going to get past that 100K mark soon? And when we do, are we going to absolutely rip? Give me your sort of overall thesis, TLDR synopsis on present day Bitcoin and Bitcoin price action.
Well, I just love that we got up to $99,850. Like, come on, there
What a
wasn't one last
tease.
guy to just do a market buy, just put it 100,001. Come on, that was
What a
hilarious.
tease.
Look, at the end of the day, we're going to get to 100K Bitcoin, whether it's in the next few days or the next couple weeks. It doesn't really substantively matter because while it's fun to talk about $100,000 Bitcoin, it's really just not that important when it comes down to it. Bitcoin's going way higher in the grand scheme of things. This is just a fun milestone to celebrate and to recognize. And, it'll be as important as getting to 7-figure Bitcoin someday. We'll be very excited about that too, but it'll just be another milestone and guess what? You hit under $100,000 Bitcoin and 10 minutes later, another block gets produced and things just keep on ticking along, right? So it's exciting. Right? Obviously, it leads the market and Bitcoin's the North Star of the market. And the higher Bitcoin goes, the more attention Bitcoin gets, the more liquidity gets sucked into the cryptocurrency market, which flows down to all the altcoins and everybody eats, which is fantastic. So whether we hit it sooner or later, doesn't really matter. I could see a scenario where we consolidate or we have a few false breakouts over 100K where we get to like 101K and then pull back to 95 or something like that. None of this stuff would surprise me particularly. These sort of big psychological number areas can be a bit tricky to take out. You might get a few false starts on the big breakout beyond it. But my target for the cycle has been about $200,000 Bitcoin. We could see a little bit of a shoot beyond that. So that's about $215,000 Bitcoin. So that's based on the 3.618 Fibonacci lines, which if you look back to the previous cycle, I mean, Bitcoin got right to those 3.618 lines. And what's interesting is that if you look at the Ethereum, you draw the Fibonacci on that, we literally got to like $2 or $3 within like the exact hit of it. It's crazy how close that got. So I'm looking at 200K, maybe 250K, pico top. And I know there's all this other exciting stuff going on that could happen in the next year and that could change things. But that news in of itself, much like El Salvador legalizing, Bitcoin for legal tender, very big, exciting news. But those events might even become buy the rumor, sell the news, market peak top marking events where everyone thinks it's going to continue and we're going to have the super cycle forever. It's only going to go up forever and then it goes down.
Yeah. No, it's very true there. One thing I'd love to ask you about, and you did call this last time we chatted. You did say, last time you and I chatted was in March of this year, give or take about 6-7 months ago, 8 months ago, and you were big on the Bitcoin ETFs. We'll get into the ETFs in a second. Everything you said about those were absolutely bang on. The inflows have been absolute mayhem in the best way possible. Institutional adoption, also just for the narrative upon Bitcoin itself, really shining a good positive light on Bitcoin and taking away this sort of negative, nonsensical narrative behind it. That aside, though, I want to talk price action. One last price action question and point on Bitcoin. The 100K mark, I looked at a bunch of exchanges. There were some massive sell walls at 100K where people were just, leverage trades, whatever the case may be. Is it going to take like a mega sailor buy, like the biggest ever, a $10 billion sailor buy when we're in the high 90s to get past that? Like, what's it going to take for us to actually crash through that crazy barrier?
For sure. Look, simply the reality is demand keeps just grinding on and the supply, it does not. The ability for Bitcoin miners to be able to dump their Bitcoin at 100K, for example, is very limited at this point. The old whale money, some of that's going to be selling at 100K. A lot of these old whales just never, some of these guys with serious been holding on chain for years and years and years. They were just waiting for $100,000 Bitcoin. No, a lot of these guys are waiting for much, much higher. They understand the big thesis behind Bitcoin here. So what you need to understand right now is that the Bitcoin ETFs in the last probably, let's say, month approximately, let's say 6 weeks, they've probably bought the equivalent of the entire year of Bitcoin miner production.
It's insane.
In the last probably 6 to 8 weeks. It's absolutely insane. And that's just Bitcoin ETFs. We're not talking about retail that's buying on all the apps like Coinbase and Robinhood, whatever. We're not talking about the countries that are accumulating some of it where we've got pretty strong confirmation, or let's say not exactly confirmation, but we have pretty strong indication, we should say, that a country right now is front-running the United States on their strategic Bitcoin reserve idea, and they're actually out there accumulating right now. And this is coming from very high sources, people like David Bailey over Bitcoin Magazine, Dennis Porter, who runs the Satoshi Action Fund. Like, these guys, I think, are pretty good sources. I don't feel like they'd just be making that up, considering everything else they've done, everything else they've been spot on about. So we likely have a country front-running the United States right now. You have Brazil, which just came out yesterday or today, announcing that they're looking to make a strategic Bitcoin reserve as well. That bill's going to go to their Congress. Everything's happening, and you simply cannot have this much demand for the asset with such a limited amount of it. The supply on exchanges is continuing to plummet. The ability for miners to dump new coins in the market has just been reduced by half, and the ETFs have way dramatically outpaced the ability of miners to produce coins. So we're heading towards a perfect storm situation where the demand for Bitcoin is absolutely off the charts, and the amount of it available for people to buy keeps dwindling because a lot of that Bitcoin keeps getting taken off and stuck in cold wallets. And there's more and more people who are waking up every day to the reality of what Bitcoin is, why they need to be positioned in it, and they're not looking to sell it cheap. They're not necessarily looking to sell it at all. They're looking to use it as a way to get out of their fiat, much in the same way that people buy gold. They don't rush back into cash when it goes up 20%. They hold it because they're hedging against the insanity of fiat debasement.
Yeah, something to just tuck away in that safety deposit box. Lark, you're on a roll right now. Next topic we have to discuss, and again, I can't wait to get into the Memecoin stuff because you and I both love that shit. But until then, Ethereum has had a good amount of growth over the last couple of weeks. I mean, there was a good amount of time where it was in the high 2000s and then low threes. We're hovering at about 3.5 right now. Chart looks pretty good, but the narrative, Lark, is the thing that still sort of worries me. Crypto Twitter is so powerful, crypto X, whatever you want to call it, still so powerful. Don't know any other industry where the narrative and the sentiment matters as much as in crypto. And everyone shits on ETH every single day. There's Vitalik memes. They're all negative. Again, everyone's just shitting on ETH nonstop. Can anything happen? Can any significant ETH developments happen over the next couple weeks, months, years? I don't even think is really even in the question. They came out with that new update as well where, they're almost sort of nullifying L2s, which makes no sense because that's the whole bread and butter of ETH. Like, what the hell is going on with ETH? And what can they do to sort of close that gap with Bitcoin? And furthermore, should ETH be worried about Sol? Because Sol is just making waves and waves and waves and stealing market share, stealing mind share. What the hell is going on with ETH right now?
A lot to cover there. One of my favorite memes of the year has been the Wojak Cuck meme. So it's got the Wojak sitting there on the shirt with the Ethereum logo on his shirt, and his girlfriend's going with the guy with the Solana tattoo on his back, and she's like, "Are you sure?" Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's been so accurate. Just the sentiment around ETH this year. And ETH's my second biggest bag, by the way, and I've been in ETH for years. And this will probably be the cycle that I fully cash out my ETH position. In fact, it will be. But here's the interesting thing: there's a lot of bad sentiment around Ethereum right now. And it's, in my mind, that kind of bad sentiment that is unjust. People always love to kick someone when they're down, to kick an asset when they're down. The same way that everybody is clowning on Solana when it had the FTX collapse happen. And that was a real tough moment for Solana because that was a lot of the venture capital money within the Solana ecosystem. It didn't mean the chain suddenly collapsed or something like that, but people were kicking it while it was down because that's what the herd mentality does. They don't like to see around the corner and what the sort of true value is. It's just, price down, let's kick it and make fun of it. And that's what people do. It's a weird market from that perspective. But you have to realize that ETH has underperformed. There's no arguing that point. Solana has hit a new all-time high. Fantastic. ETH is still about 45% or something away from an all-time high. So what's interesting is that in the last cycle, ETH also did this, more dramatically so. When Bitcoin entered price discovery, Ethereum still needed to pump 140% more to get back to its all-time high. So it took about 6 weeks of Bitcoin price discovery before ETH finally started making new all-time highs. And then when it did, it went from $1,400 to up to almost $5. Yeah, it went absolutely nuts. Yeah. because of course it will at some point. It's the second biggest damn asset in crypto. And I know the conversation around, oh my gosh, Solana is going to flip Ethereum. Look, we've had those conversations, and it's an interesting conversation to have. It's interesting to compare some of those metrics. On a lot of metrics right now, Solana is kicking butt. Solana's DEX volume is off the damn charts. In fact, Solana decentralized exchange volume right now is so significant that it's often not only beating Ethereum, but beating all Ethereum layer 2s combined some days. Not every day, but some days. That's
the whole
insanity.
Month of November. The month of November, it's beating all the L2s combined. It's great for us who like Sol, but it's not good for ETH.
No. Well, it is, and it isn't, because this is the thing, is there's still an incredible amount of money on Ethereum main chain. If you look at the total value locked, it's $80 billion or something like that. There's $100 million or some such number of stable coins on there. Approximates, I don't remember the exact figures are, but pretty close to those. And so there's still obviously a huge amount of whale money and stuff on ETH. And, BlackRock, when they launched their BUIDL fund, they didn't launch it on Solana, they launched it on Ethereum, because they don't care if they have to pay $20 fees to launch a smart contract. They're BlackRock, right? They want something that they can rely on more and has more history and doesn't, go down every once in a while and somebody trips over a plug and knocks the electricity out of some of the nodes, So look, Solana's a fantastic asset. It's done incredibly well. It has become the epicenter for the degeneracy of the cycle, and I love it. You love it too. It's fantastic. Everybody who listens, you love it. It's the best. But here's the thing. I saw today was 62 or 64% of the total DEX volume on Solana in the last month has been Pump.fun, which is just people getting their asses handed to them left, right, and center. 99% of the people who buy anything on Pump.fun lose all of their money. It's an absolute slaughterhouse. The Pump is not that fun. It is a slaughterhouse where people go to lose all their money. And it's insanity, but here's the thing. Meme coins are the ICOs of 2024. So if we weren't around for ICOs back in 2017, that's meme coins today, okay? NFTs were the similar they were the hot new thing, gigantic amounts of scamming, gigantic amounts of people losing all their money, and a few assets that rose out of that to extreme prominence. Now, a lot of the NFTs back in 2020, much like the ICOs back in 2017, that was all running on Ethereum. NFTs did come to Solana, but that was a bit later, and they didn't come to the kind of prominence that they did on Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
So this cycle, the main casino is Solana meme coins. The main casino last cycle was Ethereum NFTs. This time it's Solana meme coins, right? So that's where it's getting all the traction and price and stuff like that. The question is, how sticky can that be moving forward? I mean, most of this stuff is utter garbage, right? And still the biggest memes, the biggest market cap memes, Shiba Inu, Pepe, they're Ethereum based. Ethereum main chain based, man. Because the whales who are buying $1 million of Pepe don't care if they have to spend $20 on Uniswap, right? The guy who's putting $10 on a Pump.fun because he only has $10, it's important for him to pay 1 cent in fees to do that. So we're talking about different things here, but Solana is fantastic. I think it's a fantastic asset. It's obviously run like absolute crazy, and I hope that we get real stickiness from the people who are being getting their gateway drug fix into the crypto world through meme coins, that they then go a bit deeper and they buy maybe more quality meme coins like Dog with Hat, something that's actually got a bit more sticking power, or they actually start buying some Jito Sol to get some staking rewards with some of the money that they might make. And they start buying some DeFi coins or playing a game or getting in some D-Pin stuff and, putting a D-Pin thing in their car and driving around and earning some rewards and stuff like that. And they actually start going deeper, because that's the thing with meme coins. They're the gateway drug. And if they can act as the gateway drug, then it's a big positive for everybody in the space. And that's one of the things I love about meme coins, is they are retail friendly and they bring people in.
You're bang on there. And another thing, a great point that you brought up there is, again, just the easeability of Sol. Like, Lark, I don't know the last time you've bought a shitcoin or a meme coin rather on ETH, or even Base for that matter. Like, I know everyone loves this whole Base narrative, but it's just not fun. It's just not good. And everything that I do on Sol, from DeFi to memes to DePin, you name it, it just works. It's clean, it's sexy, it's efficient. And that's one thing that I feel a lot of people haven't really put that much thought into. And my sort of antidote to that I tell my Web2 friends, and especially in North America, everywhere else in the world, you guys all use WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp is great too. But in North America, no one has an Android because we all use iMessage. to hit each other up. It's our mean of comms. It's just better than WhatsApp in a lot of ways. And it's going to be the same thing with onboarding new users. They're all going to go to Sol because it's so much easier. Price aside, gas fees aside, it's just a better product. And that's something that I think a lot of people forget about. But we've been running on memes here. I could ask you about a couple in particular. It'd be more fun. I'm just going to literally give you the mic here. Give me your top sort of meme coins. Which ones are getting you excited at the moment? Did you cash in on CHILLGUY? Did you cash in on any of this wild bonk run up, the wild Doge run up? Like, what's been catching your eye recently?
Great question. So one, I would just like to say the CHILLGUY meme is ridiculous because we've literally taken Kevin James, the actor Kevin James, you know this guy, and we made a dog version of him. This is the meme we're pumping to $1 billion, guys. I mean, can we reevaluate our lives and really what we've become as a space? This is our thing. Now Kevin James can be $1 billion meme, but as a dog. Anyway. It's funny. It's hilarious. You know, why not? It is hilarious. Look, for me, mostly, I do mess around with the occasional lower cap meme and stuff like that. And I got all my buddies that I know every day. It's a new contract address on Telegram. Dude, check out this one. Dude, check out this one. And I just don't have the time or energy for throwing another $1,000 at some, $1 million market cap meme. I just don't care. It's a distraction for me personally. I much would rather prefer to focus on the bigger cap memes like Dog with Hat, for example, right? That's a strong cult meme on Solana. It's got massive potential. I think it's getting listed all over the place on Coinbase, on Robinhood. So this one, yeah, it's a multi-billion-dollar market cap meme. It's not going to give you the returns where you put in $100 and you become a multi-millionaire. But you have to understand, for most of you guys, you are not going to be the exception. You're going to be the rule. You're going to be the guy who loses all of your money on the meme coins. You're not going to be the guy who puts in $10 and turns it into millions or billions. Okay, it's just not going to be the case for 99.99999% of you. I know everyone has to win the lottery, because that's what they're chasing on this meme coin stuff right now, trying to win the lottery by putting in $10 and creating millions. Most of you guys are going to be a heck of a lot better off trying to find memes that have established themselves a bit more. Now, you don't have to go for the multi-billion-dollar market cap ones. I think those are good ones to trade with like 2 or 3x leverage because they tend to have really good moves. But you can also find ones that are sort of in the, $100 million market cap space, even if ones that pumped up that much and pulled back like $50 million. They're still here. They're still existing. Community's still growing. Like, that's a lot safer of a bet to go for something that's at $50 million and has potential to go to 500 million or $1 billion versus the one that's just come out and it's got a $100,000 market cap and it's probably going to go to zero in 5 minutes. Right. So that's one thing for people to keep in mind here. OK, the second is a very interesting space, and I haven't allocated any capital to this yet. My portfolio is so crazy right now, I'm really hesitant to, but I really, really like the idea and the concept and everything we're seeing around it. And that is the AI meme coin space, the AI agents that are coming up. Stuff like Cerebro, Goat, obviously, is the big one. We're seeing a lot of other stuff coming out here as well. There's just dozens of names we could rattle off that's already popped up in the space. So it's getting pretty crazy and frothy already, but I think the idea is absolutely fantastic. You got to think, AI and meme coins go neck and neck every single day for mind share across social media. People are consistently talking about AI and they're consistently talking about meme coins every single day. And now you're telling me that we have literally AI meme coins where you have AI agents who are transacting with each other, talking to each other. Literally, we had a couple of them that came together. I can't remember the name of which meme coin it was. A couple of them come together and actually made a meme coin, right? So we had this kind of stuff happening.
Lacey?
Was that Luminous?
Lacey, I think.
Or maybe. Oh, maybe. Yeah. I can't. There's so many. There's so much crazy stuff going on.
Yeah. The AI 16Z, that whole nonsense happened last week as well.
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of drama, of course. This is it. But as always, there's going to be drama. As always, there's going to be bullshit. There's going to be rug pulls. There's going to be insanity. But the fact of the matter is, these AI agents coming on chain are going to be super interesting. And I think there's a huge amount of potential there for these. And these could be the next big wave of AI, but also of meme coins. So definitely something to pay attention to. If you haven't paid any attention to it yet, go and start reading about some of these, start following some of the accounts like Truth Terminal and stuff, and just kind of see what's going on. Yep. You don't have to put money in. I haven't put money in yet. I might not. I don't know. But I'm very interested in it, and I might put some money in. But definitely something that I'm following as somebody who's an avid watcher of the markets. it's a very interesting conceptual idea that's coming up, and it's something new and novel beyond just another dog or a cat or dead squirrel or whatever other narrative of the hippo narrative, right? The hippo meta, man, it lasted for like a week, and then the dead squirrel meta lasted for a week. And I feel like AI and meme coins coming together is a much stickier narrative that's probably going to have a lot of play this cycle.
Very well said. Lark, you are on a roll. When we get back from our quick sponsor ad read, we are going to keep buzzing on Memecoins and Memecoin strategy and some overall, macro strategy as well. Because last time you came on, you pretty much called it to a T, and we got to have that before we let you go today. Huge shout out to Prime XPT, longtime sponsors of the Crypto News podcast and longtime friends of CryptoNews.com. We love these guys as they offer a robust trading system for both beginners and professional traders. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or a vet, you can easily design and customize your layouts and widgets to best fit your trading style. Prime XPT is also running an exclusive promo for listeners of the Crypto News podcast. Use the promo code CryptoNews50. That is CryptoNews50, all one word, to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Again, that is CryptoNews50 to receive 50% of your deposit credited to your trading account. Now back to the show with Lark. Let's jump into some strategy here, my friend. You mentioned a great little point, and I often tell my friends the exact same thing when it comes to meme coins. Your best bet is not looking for that 100 or 1,000 X bagger. It's just not going to happen. That is a genuine lottery ticket. You're just firing away at a couple tickers you like, and you're going to have to get super, super lucky, and you're going to have to make sure the cabal comes in and pumps the shit out of that thing to literally, 9 figures. Realistic strategies. If you want to take some super low punts, don't even really punt at anything less than $1 million. If you want to take some punts on things from the $1 million to $20 million, go for it. I always tell them, look for 100 to 250. That's sort of your sweet spot. Once it hits that sort of 9-figure valuation, you do have a chance at hitting $1 billion. And that's a pretty nice it could be a 10 bag from 100 to 1 billion. Could be a 4 bag from 250 to $1 billion. So that's one great strategy. Any other strategies on meme coins, and a quick sort of follow-up to that? Just give us some overall strategy, maybe selling times, market periods, blah, 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 that you have for, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 of next year.
One thing to keep in mind when you're coming into the meme coin space is that most of you listening are going to be the cannon fodder. You have to understand that it's true. It's very, very true. And you guys need to understand this, because when you're getting into the trenches, right? Essentially, you are going up against people who have bots, sniper bots. Do you have a sniper bot? If you don't, well, you're already at a disadvantage, right? So People are sniping every listing that's coming out. You have massive amounts. The amount of insider bullshit going on is unreal. It's absolutely unreal. So mass amount of insider stuff going on for a lot of these meme coins, sort of fair launch coins that come out definitely are rarer, right? And more worth paying attention to, I think, in a lot of cases. So the level of information asymmetry that is available to the people who do this professionally all day, every day, versus you who's coming in with $20 or $100 on something you just heard your buddy tell you about, is just not the same. Your chances of losing all your money are extremely high, because you're going up against a professional money collecting machine, okay? And their primary goal is taking the money from people like you and putting it in their pockets, okay?
It's
you
PvP,
have to understand
folks.
That.
Remember that. It's player versus player.
That's right. It is not kumbaya, okay? We're not all sitting around the campfires. Everyone's sitting around the campfire knifing each other, okay? So you have to understand that, guys. So this is one thing, and that's why these low cap new launches are so brutal. Again, most of you guys are so much better off with going for more established coins, right? So that's one thing. The second thing I always think is funny is that I always get like a 10x on this meme coin, like the S&P 500 returns 15% a year or something like that. So if you get a 10x on something, those are such mind-boggling, insane returns. People have lost all contact with reality in the cryptocurrency space. And I know that's how we talk all the time, but still it's worth pointing out that people in the stock world wait like a decade for a 10x, 2 decades for a 10x. I got a 10x after 20 years. Great. Yeah, I got a 10x in 5 minutes, Grandpa. This is the thing, is the returns are absolutely insane. Actually getting a 3, 5, 10x within a year on any asset is insane. If you can get that within a few weeks or a few months, I mean, just take a moment for a reality check on how ridiculous that is. Another thing, too, is if you are going to insist on playing that low cap crazy game, get your damn capital out when these things start moving, okay? Because the chance that that coin is going to go to zero in a very short amount of time is extremely high. So at least if it pumps 2, 3, 4, 5x, get your money out. Get your capital back out, right? Let the rest ride, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Take your capital out, take your good chunk out, save a little moon bag. That has to happen 100% of the time.
I have one more thing I want to mention too, which is dilution. Right now, much like we saw with NFTs, except this is even more extreme, right? Meme coins are like, the crystal meth version of NFT mania, okay? It's got so much darker, so much crazier, so much more degenerate, okay? Because the barrier to entry is even smaller now. It's absolutely nuts. Things like Pump.fun have just broken the mold for insanity. But you have to understand, every single day, there's 50,000 meme coins being launched. Think about that. And that's every single day, every single week. So we have 350,000 meme coins a week, 1.2 million meme coins a month being launched. And of those 1.2 million coins that are launched, 99.9% go to zero within a couple hours. A tiny fraction, we're talking 10, maybe 20, get any kind of market cap in the tens to hundreds of millions, okay? So you're absolutely playing against the odds here. There's simply not enough attention or money to keep supporting all these meme coins and all these silly metas. Like, seriously, how long can the Moodang hippo meme really last? That thing's gonna get fat and old at some point. It's not gonna be so cute anymore anyway. Come on. I mean, the dead squirrel meta. Like, how long are people really going to keep the peanut meme alive and stuff like this, right? The dilution is getting intense because there's not really much to differentiate any of the meme coins from each other. You say, oh, they got good token holder online, on chain and stuff like that. Sure. But this is one of the things where it comes to actual protocols, right? Aave, MakerDAO, the Solana blockchain itself, Jito Finance, Jupiter, stuff like this. These things are real protocols with real economic incentives and real technology behind them. You can't just go and recreate Jupiter tomorrow because you can't recreate their user base and their billions of dollars of volume and all that kind of stuff. You can't just recreate Solana tomorrow. You can't recreate that network effect tomorrow. But you can infinitely recreate animals with hats on them. Okay? And that's the problem, because a lot of this stuff is not going to do well for the simple purpose that there's just too much of it coming out to the market.
Exactly.
It's like drinking from a fire hose every day and trying to catch one specific drop.
No, it's so true there. We are getting a little tight for time here. Like, any other areas that really get you going at the moment? I mean, we've barely scratched the surface. We could talk for hours and hours. We did a great deep dive on Bitcoin, on ETH, on Sol, meme coins, crypto trading strategy, any 2025 strategies, picks, plays for us. So you're going to be pulling out at a certain time, any key indications or market sentiment indicators that you're looking for. Sort of give us the TLDR on your 2025 investment strategy.
Sure. The one thing I have been preaching all year and will continue to preach until, well into next year, I hope, is you have to take your profits or the market's going to take them for you. If you did well and you actually got your coins during the accumulation period, or you're here now listening, this is the early markup phase. We still have a lot of markup to go. Bitcoin's going to go up another 150% between here and the top, and maybe 200% in the wildest scenario. Your altcoin's going to go absolutely bonkers in that time. So you're here at the early markup phase. Getting in now is not getting in super early, but you're also not late, okay? The reality of the matter is, though, is that the vast majority of people are going to round trip their bags, okay? Investors generally fall into one of three places. They buy early and they sell high. So small class investors, a few percent. They buy early, they watch their prices go very high, they screenshot it, and then they round trip the whole bag back to zero. Or what 90% of people do, which is they buy high and then sell low. They only follow the hype, the pumps. Second something goes down 10%, they dump it to chase the next thing. It just went up 200%, and they get in trouble real fast. This market cycle, it's hard to say, of course, as always. I don't have a crystal ball. We don't know how long things are going to last for sure. I've been talking for a while about a potential sort of March, April, at least first market top. Maybe we get a second market top like we did in 2013, like we did in 2021. Very possible. Yeah, maybe we get, the 2017 repeat where we just grind all year, a giant volatility, big news cycles of all this crazy stuff happening, and then we get up to 250K by the end of the year when America launches a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and then we dump because that's what happens. We sell the news on it, right? something happens, the macro breaks, and it doesn't matter that America's buying Bitcoin because the macro scene's totally screwed up and whacked out, right? All these things can happen, right? So nothing is certain when it comes to this asset class. It's a high-risk asset class. We love the volatility to the upside. Nobody loves the volatility to the downside, but the downside reality is a constant reality that needs to be hanging in the back of your brain all the time. You are not a genius. This is just a bull market. And it's great to be in a bull market. And it is a very smart move to be in a bull market and be allocated to this asset class. But it's just the right conditions, okay? And chances are whatever coins that you're going to be in are not going to dramatically outperform to some insane degree versus the other coins. If you do, congratulations, but you're still not a genius. It's just the bull market, and the bull market's providing the right kind of risk on high liquidity situation where that can happen. And you have to take profits because I'll tell you what, all these stupid meme coins we've been talking about, the peanuts, the hippos, the whatever else, all these things. And the dilution is part of the problem, much like we saw with NFTs. All these coins are going to go down 99.99999% in the bear market, okay? The top memes won't. You know, Dogecoin's only going to go down 95%. Pepe's only going to go down 97%. Dog with Hat's only going to go down 97%. But all those other ones are going down to zero, basically, okay? All these things that you think are so hot and cool right now, it's absolute garbage and it's going to go to zero, okay? And a lot of the other altcoins are going to see dramatic, just disgusting markdowns. And you will either take your profits, secure your financial freedom, okay? Take care of your family, get yourself out of debt, right? This is what you're here for. Are you here to be a bag holder and be part of a community in the middle of the bear market saying, with the other 10 dudes in the Discord, gosh, I wish I had sold back when the prices were higher? No, you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy who cashes out, changes his damn financial destiny, because that's what you can do. But you have to sell your damn crypto coins. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to start actually making a habit of selling. Ladder out as the prices start going higher. Okay, we're in the big markup phase right now. Distribution is probably going to come in a few months. Okay, and you got to start cashing out. Okay, you don't have to wait for the perfect top because you're not going to sell the perfect top. Catch the meat of the move. Get the money. Get your cheddar because it won't last forever.
Lark, what a way to finish. Always love having you on, man. What's an absolute treat. And we got to have you on for round 3 sooner rather than later. And just what a way to end it as well. Letting everyone know, guys, there's a reason why he went on that great riff at the end and drilled it in all of our heads. Don't be greedy, take some profit. And again, just keep a little moon bag. So if it really, really rips, you're not going to be disappointed in yourself and you can still catch all the upside and you've gotten rid of all the downside. Lark, what an episode. Thanks again, man. Before we let you go, can you please let our listeners know where they can find you personally and, of course, Wealth Mastery online and on socials?
Absolutely. So the Wealth Mastery newsletter, join us. We're pumping out crazy amounts of amazing content every single week. thewealthmastery.io. And just come find me on extra YouTube. Lark Davis, make sure it's the verified account. Okay, a lot of fake accounts out there, so make sure it's the verified account, Lark Davis. And we'd love to see you there and have conversations. You can enjoy all the memes and shit posting we do, as well as all the valuable news and information we're sharing every single day.
Folks, what an episode with Lark Davis, one of the true crypto OGs. There's a reason why he's one of the most followed lads in the space, because he comes on pods like this and absolutely brings the noise. We discussed everything today: meme coins, AI meme coins, meme coin strategy, Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and we finished off with a great 2025 crypto trading strategy guide. Folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It would mean the world to my team and I if you guys did like, subscribe, and all that jazz. My team, thank you guys. Love you for everything. Could not be here without you. And back to the listeners, love you guys. Keep on growing those bags and keep on staying healthy, wealthy, and happy. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.